Aggies and their head coach, Gary Blair, has been around forever. We'll talk more about him as our evening continues, and we are underway in Tuscaloosa.
Alabama must rebound the basketball if they're going to have any chance to win this game tonight, starting out in the zone defense.
Shooting it from outside. Give her an opportunity, and she'll take it. That's Kayla Wells, a streaky player, but she is really an excellent shooter and rebounder. You see the Alabama starting five at the bottom of your screen. Bama would love to see things go quickly as the layup is good, and a foul on India Jones. It'll be her first. If there is an Achilles for A&M, it's transition defense. At that time, she took it right to India Jones and draws the foul.
Megan Abrams has been really smart. Has really improved her game mentally, playing more at the rim. She used to shoot a bunch of threes. Now she's getting the ball to the hole, getting to the free throw line, leading free throw shooter on the Alabama basketball team.
And, of course, Alabama's free throw shooting has been outstanding. Their opportunities, you see the starting five for the Aggies and the turnover against Texas A&M, and Alabama quickly up the floor.
You mentioned the transition defense, Eli. That's exactly what the scouting report is. If you're going to score on Texas A&M, you need to push the ball and get a shot early in your offense.
Jordan Lewis for three over top of the D.
Unless you can do that. deep three ball by up there for Jordan Lewis.
So each team has now led by three. Bama in the 2-3 zone. Jones over to Wells. Kayla Wells. Shambria Washington, or Sham as her teammates and coaches call her. Kicked out neatly on the baseline, but it's an air ball as Jones had to rush it with the shot clock winding down.
Alabama seems to be so much more efficient, Eli, when they rotate the ball from one side of the floor to the other and playing inside out, as you see them doing at this very moment.
Shot clock at 7 with Abrams thinking about it. 3 on the shot clock to Araya Copeland, smothered by Sierra Johnson. And again, I'll point out there are 2 Sierra Johnsons playing today. The one for Texas A&M, number 40, spells her first name C-I-E-R-A. Sierra for Alabama wears number 4, C-I-E-R-R-A. She must have called Pat Sajak and bought the extra consonant. Here's Shambria Washington. Aaliyah Wilson inside, and the layup for 2, and that's where Sierra Johnson can hurt you. An old school 5 player, basically.
Exactly, and as you could see, Gary Blair is adamant about playing through Sierra Johnson and India Jones, and they came down and took a couple of quick threes, and that's not the game plan that Coach Blair is looking for.
Good defense by Jones, forcing that pass, and Alabama cashes in with Jordan Lewis. Already 1,012 career points for Jordan Lewis. Double figures in 8 straight games for her.
I think Texas A&M better know where Jordan Lewis is. She's shooting 38% from the three balls on the season.
You start that quickly, that's usually an indicator that you are in that zone.
Exactly.
Go back a moment ago to Sierra Johnson, the junior from Duncanville, Texas.
Well, the dribble penetration draws the defense, and when the defense steps up, 6'4" with long arms, a big target, nice little touch floater pass secured by Sierra Johnson, the post player, and the finish.
And the veteran, 17th year at A&M, 35th year overall as a Division I head coach. You saw he has 398 wins with the Aggies, 2 shy of 400. Nicely off the window for 2. He also has 806 career wins, 25 NCAA appearances, 2 Final Fours, 4 Elite Eights, 12 Sweet 16s. And when he went to the WNIT, not happy, but at least he won the championship that year of the WNIT.
Well, he's the dean of SEC's coaches, and believe me, he's been around a long time. It's not his first rodeo.
Wilson with the handoff and runs the floor. And, of course, Gary Blair is maybe the best half-court offensive coach in the SEC, if not in America. Tied at 9. Wells. And Jones showing some restraint there. Inside, lay in by Sierra Johnson.
We talked about the bookends right there, and that's what I'm talking about right there. The ball goes actually about to the medium post to India Jones, and on the back side of the zone, you got Sierra Johnson with a seal and an easy pass and catch for 2.
Amber Richardson missing that easy shot. Kind of disappointed at herself. Number 2 in white right there. And the offensive foul. Good job by Richardson as Kayla Wells draws the offensive foul. But it was Aaliyah Wilson moments ago who really showed us how this game should be played. A handoff and taking it to the house for 2.
Gets hurt, LSU winds up losing that game. Then they turn around and go to Kentucky and played what Gary Blair would call lifeless basketball. So yeah, I think that they were struggling at that point, but they found out other people who must step up and make plays, and they really look good against Florida. So I'm not real concerned. I'm not feeling sorry for Gary Blair because he's still got some good players, I guarantee you.
Tons of them inside. A fall-away J, good for Alabama's version of Sierra Johnson. Again, she is from Mobile, Alabama, played at Shelton State Community College. Texas A&M Sierra Johnson is from Duncanville, Texas.
We know that Sierra Johnson's a very streaky player, Eli, and today I'll just say this, and shoot around, she looked better than I've seen her look all year.
Shambria, Washington from outside. A very smart point guard cashes in with the 3 and gives the Aggies another 3-point lead.
And Texas A&M sticking with that zone, trying to force Alabama to shoot the ball on the perimeter.
Sierra Johnson for Alabama. Rebound, Texas A&M. Here's Washington walking it across the line. She likes the mid-range jumpers. Shambria, Washington does.
But believe me, do not dare her to shoot the 3 ball because she can.
And now a tackle directly in front of us is being called on Kayla Wells. It'll be her 2nd. So now 2 on Kayla Wells as you watch Sierra Johnson for Alabama.
Well, like I said, she looked really, really good in practice this morning, and shoot around, a little soft jump shot right there. Averaged 15 points a game for Alabama last year. Right now, averaging just over 8 for Alabama.
Meanwhile, Kayla Wells, takes a seat with 2 fouls. The number 3 scorer on the Aggie Ball Club as Daisha Benjamin floats one in for Alabama.
Well, there comes people off the bench for Alabama. Sierra Johnson off the bench.
Brittany Davis, 23.
Yeah, and then Daisha Benjamin with a little soft jump shot.
Bama's Sierra Johnson. Look how she surveyed things, took her time, found the uncovered Daisha Benjamin.
A fantastic decision right there by Sierra Johnson.
Yep.
I have seen her go in there out of control and do something that would cause Alabama to turn the basketball over, pulling it back out, finding Daisha Benjamin wide open for a 3-ball.
Inside, and the foul.
Talking about the Alabama bench, there comes Daisha Benjamin off the bench, and immediately a short little jump shot right there at the medium post, and then on the very next possession steps up and hits a deep 3-ball, and Alabama's bench outscoring their opponents by wide margin.
Yeah.
As you see right there on the screen right there, 556 to 313 in 18 games. That's big time.
If you don't have your abacus with you, as Sierra Johnson for the Aggies shoots, that translates to 30.9 points per game off the bench versus 17.4 for the opposition.
And 42% of Alabama scoring.
Aggies by a point. Bama's led by 4. Texas A&M by 3. Shot clock at 5. First quarter down to a minute remaining. No good for Bama's Johnson. Here's Shambria at Washington. Wilson found an opening and a blocking foul.
Wow.
It'll be on Alabama's Jordan Lewis, her first.
Well, I can assure you that the official that just made that call right there has been around a long time, and she does not miss many. So she had a great angle at the call. She makes the call. Boy, that's a 50-50.
It is.
50-50.
Hey, folks, by the way, gymnastics takes over the SEC network every Friday night. And tomorrow, number 12 Kentucky takes on number 19 Arkansas at the Barn in Fayetteville. Friday Night Heights, also streaming live on the ESPN app. Barn Hill Arena, one of the great bandboxes of the SEC. Jordan Lewis. And Washington with the rebound. You see the time remaining. They will have to shoot. 10 seconds more on the game clock than the shot clock.
Great defense right there for Alabama.
And now Jordan Lewis will slow things down and play for the last shot of the quarter.
Alabama collapsing big time, and I don't blame them every time Sierra Johnson catches the ball around the block down there.
Davis with a one-hand, left-hand shot. Brittany Davis. And the three-point try, no good at the horn. But Brittany Davis, young lady from Manchester, Georgia, who had 23 earlier this year against Carolina, does it with 3 times. Bama's got 7 points off turnovers. Bama's turned it over only 1 time in the aftermath of only turning it over 6 times at Tennessee.
That's unbelievable.
It is.
Compared to what we've seen earlier in the year. A lot better ball security, better decisions.
Jordan Lewis for Sierra Johnson of Alabama. Davis alone, and the rebound for Washington. Sierra Johnson for Bama went down. Washington. We talked about her shooting the 3. She will do it if her feet are set. She doesn't tend to run up and shoot the tray.
Exactly, and she doesn't when you dare her to shoot the 3. Her numbers are not just glaringly good, but if you don't defend her and you dare her to shoot the ball, she's really good at shooting it at that point from the 3-point line. That
foul on Alabama's Sierra Johnson, her first. And that's a turnover on traveling for Shale Kale Whitsitt. Rael Whitsitt, excuse me, just checking into the lineup for the Aggies.
Had a fantastic game against Florida. Played like 21 minutes, and I think she had something like 11 points, 5 of 11 on field goals. Really, really contributed in absence of Kennedy Carter.
Again, if you're just joining us, Kennedy Carter missing her 4th game with that ankle sprain. The stop and the pop doesn't go for Jasmine Walker. And here comes Washington. She saw the opening and gets fouled as she goes through. Who threw the elbow? We'll have to wait and see. Believe it'll be Araya Copeland.
Well, quite honestly, that's just poor transition defense. I mean, all Araya Copeland had to do was turn around and see the ball coming, take one slide over and get the ball stopped. Never saw it coming, and then reached in for a silly foul that puts Sham Washington at the free throw line.
Transfer from the College of Central Florida is the young lady who's shooting. Not the University of Central Florida, not UCF, but the College of Central Florida, a different school.
And Eli, 2nd in the league in assist to turnover ratio. What a great number to have for your point guard who has the ball in her hands most of the time.
Brittany Davis trying to force the issue right there. She had opportunities to kick it out, but chose to try and force the issue. And now Texas A&M Sierra Johnson won't go, and the rebound comes off to Alabama. Here's Alabama's Sierra Johnson, number 4. Walker. Johnson over top of Washington's defense for 2.
Remember what I said this morning, had a little bounce in her step, looked like she was shooting the ball really well, had a smile on her face, and you know when she's looking like that, she's ready to go.
Long range for Wilson. No good, but there's a rebound on the floor. Shayar Rael Whitsitt was hit by Jordan Lewis.
I believe that's her 2nd foul as well.
It is.
That is a dangerous situation for Alabama right there. Jordan Lewis, 7 minutes to go in the half with 2 fouls.
Ashley Knight there didn't block the shot, but she forced India Jones to change the body position and trajectory. Just as good as a block, as the shot didn't go. Setting a nice screen was Sierra Johnson. Opened up the opportunity for the long shot.
What beautiful offense right there. Good patience for Alabama. Dribble handoff like a figure 8 with a handoff, a little step back 3 for Jasmine Walker. She knocks it down.
Ashley Knight couldn't flag that one down, and on the inside, India Jones will lay it in for 2.
When you have 2 of the best post players in the league on your team, how can you feel sorry for somebody?
And inside. Ashley Knight does get a bucket at the other end. Averaging 4.4 a ball game.
One thing I had in my notes, Eli, Ashley Knight and Araya Copeland must try to match the post players for Texas A&M and keep it even.
And a nice baseline move for India Jones. She's got a long, lanky body, doesn't she?
Yeah, she does, and she's got such good instincts.
So mobile.
A great feel for the ball, and she's quick off the floor. And she travels to rebound the ball. She will go get one.
Lewis feeds inside and floating to the window, Jasmine Walker for 2. So a seesaw affair. Bama has led by 4. The Aggies by 3. Nobody able to get much distance on the other here. Jones on the turnaround. Long range tray try off the window, no good for Jasmine Walker. But Lewis with the rebound for 2, and Blair says, I've seen enough. Gary Blair calls for timeout. Alabama by 5, their largest lead of the evening.
Here's the deal, Eli. Alabama's bench versus you're leading the team in scoring and rebounding in SEC play. What flipped the switch?
Being that you're in SEC, you have to bring the game every night. So, me individually, you know, I know I had to work 20 times as harder. So, you know, I had to bring my energy and effort up another notch.
Perfect. Okay, in your opinion, what has to happen for this team to make the NCAA tournament?
Us as Alabama, we have to beat the teams that we're supposed to beat and also beat the ones that we're not supposed to beat.
Perfect. And outside of basketball, what is your biggest passion?
My biggest passion is my dog, Paisley.
Sounds fair enough. Nice young lady with a great personality.
And a nice player, Alabama's Jasmine Walker. Here's the big number to be aware of. Out in the SEC, which is when you have to play your best, Jasmine Walker right now averaging a double-double.
Yep. Wilson, Johnson. And a shove from behind. It'll be the first on Deja Benjamin. All right, Coach, I got a question for you. Let's talk philosophy here. Alabama's Jordan Lewis, 2 personal fouls. She stays in the ball game. Texas A&M's 2 personal fouls on Kayla Wells. She is promptly pulled from the ball game. What's the difference in philosophy there? Why does one stay in and one get pulled?
Well, either way, you roll the dice. You really do. I mean, you leave one in and they get a foul, it's a bad decision. But you put one on the bench and the other team makes a big run and you got to have them on the court, then that's a bad decision. So you just have to, Alabama, roll the dice and left that young lady right there on the court because she played 40 minutes against Tennessee on Monday night.
Good point.
So I'm sure that Christy Curry feels like Alabama has to have
Jordan Lewis's
Jordan
leadership
Lewis,
out
on
there.
the court for them to be able to compete with a team like Texas A&M.
Let alone her 13.6 points a ball game and her 3.5 assists per ball game and her 3-point shooting of some 39%. And there's long range shooting right there. And Alabama is back up by 5. Texas A&M's drought now is 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Wells. Baseline floater is too strong. And it's going to go out of bounds off Alabama. It'll remain Texas A&M ball.
And
Here's that 3 moments ago by Walker.
Jasmine Walker right now in the SEC coming into this game, 14 of 33 from the 3-point line. In league play, that's 42% on threes.
Walker today, 3 of 6 from the floor, 1 of 3 from the arc. Aggies having trouble putting the ball in the hole. Again, Wilson misfiring, and that now means their drought is better than 3 minutes and 15 seconds of play. Gary Blair. Over the years, he is 16-9 against Alabama. And everywhere between him and Christy Curry, he is 17-2 against Coach Curry. Nice touch for Sierra Johnson.
So far tonight, Sierra Johnson looks to be, so far, the X factor coming off the bench for Alabama and giving them instant offense.
Anna Barber defending, number 5 in white. Long range shot won't go, and the putback will end that scoring drought for Texas A&M that was nearing 4 minutes.
And usually when Texas A&M needs a basket, guess where it's coming from? Offensive rebound, especially against Alabama.
Long Shot doesn't go, and a whistle from Dee Cantner. And it's going to be the second on Sierra Johnson of Texas A&M. Or they're going to call Jasmine Walker. Let me correct myself. It'll be Jasmine Walker.
And Sierra Johnson taking the ball to the basket for Alabama got bumped, and I think that's what Jasmine Walker, one of the Alabama captains, talked to the official about. You know, she got hammered, and then a touch foul, and that's what frustrates players at times.
Hey, folks, Saturday we've got another men's hoops doubleheader for you right here on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. Anthony Edwards and Georgia hosting Ole Miss at Stegman Coliseum in Athens. That's the first game at 5:30 Eastern, 4:30 Central. Then we'll take you to Columbia, Vandy, and South Carolina. That's the doubleheader coming up Saturday right here. Inside of 2 minutes remaining in the half. Hannah Barber. Walker had time. They didn't come out to challenge her. Jasmine says, why not?
Downtown Tuscaloosa. My goodness.
You're going to give her that kind of distance, she's going to take the shot. Neatly saved by Kayla Wells, who's back in with her 2 fouls. And a nice block by Araya Copeland. Nice block by Copeland, number 22 in white.
Talk about Jasmine Walker, who we focused on tonight in the 3 in the key. Deep 3 ball. Stepping up for Alabama in a huge game. That's something she had to grow into, Eli. I remember her last 2 years, very getting a big game like this and get big eyes and just couldn't compete. She's competing. She's grown up for Alabama.
Coming up at halftime, stick around. Dari Noka has a studio full of his buddies to preview the men's SEC Big 12 Challenge. That takes place this weekend, so Dari and the guys will break it down for you at intermission. Johnson fouled by Araya Copeland as she had really nothing she could do. Johnson came up into her, and Araya picks up her second personal foul.
Well, we call her an old-timey post player that likes the physicality in the post right there, the ability to stick with it and to play through contact until finally she gets the call.
I'll tell you, they must have quite an impressive program in Duncanville, Texas. She went to Duncanville High School, same high school as Tamika Catchings. And Johnson was the captain.
I tried my best to recruit players from Duncanville High School. I remember one that broke my heart. Her name was Julie Lake. I mean, a beautiful basketball player. And I say beautiful, I'm talking about smooth point guard that could just play this game. And broke my heart, went to the University of Texas.
Now, tough to get him out of the Longhorn State sometimes. Not always, and there's a travel on Copeland, a turnover against Alabama. Only the second of the half. Do you believe that?
Well, that's one thing Texas A&M does not do. There are 2 things they don't do. They don't turn the ball over, and they don't foul a lot. That's just one of the traits that a Gary Blair team has, and they execute in the half court as you see them doing as we speak.
See the time remaining in the half. Six seconds. The floater rings the bell. Shambria, Washington. And the shot is no good. Got it off too late. And the half has come to a close.
Well, it's kind of game I thought we would have, Eli, 36-32. You know what my magic number was. I would think that in the second half, it's going to be more of the same. It's going to be a competitive game.
Second quarter for us. Alabama's running their offense very well, particularly when Johnson and Walker and Lewis are in the game. They're hard to stop on the perimeter. They're doing a very good job. What we've got to do, if we're winning the boards, we're going to the line. We've got to shoot better. But the important thing is we're not defending very well. We've got to get better.
Well, thank you, Coach, and good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
And Ariel Schaefer as we are underway. Alabama on top by 4. You know, one of the numbers that stands out that we talked about all season long is bench production. And you mentioned it earlier, Coach, how Alabama outshoots and outscores the opposition off the bench 556 to 313. They shut out the Aggies off the bench in the first half.
Get this number, Eli, 15-0. Alabama's bench outscoring Texas A&M. And not only the points, but the fact is that will take its toll on the opponent in the fourth quarter.
And the nice 2-point roll right there for Jordan Lewis. Alabama by 6. Just getting going here in the third quarter in Tuscaloosa. Eli Gold, Rick Moody, Ariel Schaefer, and our SEC Network crew with you. Swatted away by Araya Copeland inside for the Tide. And that one is then booted away by Megan Abrams. Jones using the body nicely on the fall away and the little hook for 2.
Not only can she score from the high post, not only can she post up, she can get it in transition and finish with the left hand.
Bounce, back door. Araya Copeland, a beautiful play. Araya Copeland.
A little high ball screen with rolling to the basket against the zone, and nobody was at home on the backside of the zone.
Wells, Jones, and she gets the shooter's bounce for 2.
Knowing Gary Blair, my good friend, as well as I do, I think he may have lit India Jones up in the dressing room because she's coming out on fire.
He seems to have a nice, calm, even temperament. And there's the ball with the possession arrow staying in the same direction.
He also has a knack for lighting a fire under people, trust me. As you can see right here, he lit a fire under India Jones, getting out in transition. A little spin move right there and finishing with the left hand, a little scoop.
I remember that he was telling me about a golf game one day.
Oh, my goodness.
Gary Blair teaming up with one Rick Moody against Van Chancellor and former Alabama men's assistant coach, later head coach, David Hobbs.
And none of those guys are competitors. You need to make sure you understand that, right?
Pop and a stop. Good for Jordan Lewis. Last I heard, everybody was fishing their golf balls out of the drink.
Well, that's exactly what happened. Fortunately, it wasn't me and Gary, my team, with my partner. We kind of put a little whooping on those boys.
Yeah, and playing for the big high stakes of 10 cents a point.
None of us were making any money in those days, Eli.
And the running layup try doesn't go in for Sierra Johnson. She was fouled. There's Jordan Lewis, left alone, makes no mistake. As Aaliyah Wilson at the other end of the floor now will send Alabama's Sierra Johnson to the line. And again, if you're just joining us, both teams have a Sierra Johnson. That's why I tend to preface it by which team we're talking about.
And Sierra Johnson for Alabama made 2 big free throws at the end of the Tennessee game to give Alabama a 1-point lead. Also played incredible defense on Tennessee, forcing a prayer that just absolutely just broke Alabama's heart.
Alabama doesn't seem to be bothered by it. They have come out and played with good spirit here today.
One thing, Eli, excuse me, what you cannot allow Sierra Johnson to catch the ball and turn to her left shoulder off of the drop step. You absolutely have got to get on her bottom shoulder and force her back to the middle of the court.
Meanwhile now, Ashley Knight has to come in because that foul on Araya Copeland was her third. And Texas A&M's Sierra Johnson missing from the free throw line.
I do remember Raya Copeland getting injured, and one night I remember Ashley Knight playing 28 minutes, so and doing a very good job for Alabama. So Ashley Knight is not an inexperienced player. She's a senior who is the leading shot blocker in the history of the Alabama basketball program.
Right, she has 200 blocked shots, 31 this year. Heck, she only had 20 blocked shots a year ago. She's well ahead of last year's pace. That foul on Aaliyah Wilson was her second. Nice hook outside. The trade try is short by Abrams. Ashley Knight over the head with the lay-in for two.
As I was speaking of Ashley Knight, she's a most capable post player that has
steal.
the body to take care of. There you go, and Alabama
runs it out. Jasmine Walker with the steal and the two, and a timeout being called by Texas A&M.
Well, Christy Curry absolutely loves her basketball team. I can assure you of that. She is so positive with them. If anybody can bring Alabama and get them back to play a game like this, it's Christy Curry. Shot, 1 3-point shot. So Alabama's doing what they have to do to attack the rim and make sure that they can keep this run going right here. Interesting numbers right here, Eli. Alabama, 1-6 when trailing at the half. Alabama, 10-1 when leading at the half. Alabama has outscored their opponents in the second half, 214 to 195. They've been a second half team all year. We'll see if they can keep it up.
Bama did lead at the half, but Kayla Wells trying to shoot the Aggies back into it. She's got 8. She had 22 against Oklahoma State, so she's has the potential to go off on you. Nice follow inside, but a traveling call on the Crimson Tide. Boy, I like the way they crashed the boards, though.
Yeah, there's Kayla Wells right there. You can't back off of her. You got to know who you're guarding. She's shooting 43% up from the three. And Christy Curry says, "What are you doing? It's in your scouting report."
Yeah. Trying to force it up. First time, no. Second try by Jones, and a foul.
Well, Alabama has been hurt on the backside block. When the ball is on one side of the floor, Alabama's middle, the middle of Alabama's zone, in this case, Ashley Knight has to step up, where they have a mismatch on the opposite block, and Texas A&M has attacked that spot the entire game.
The foul on Knight, her second. Hey, folks, tonight, the SEC Now team will be back after Mississippi State and Vandy women's hoops. They'll recap all of the games with highlights, analysis, interviews, and everything else. That's at 11 Eastern, 10 Central, just a bit shy of 2 hours from now. No one covers the SEC like we do, and you can also see it streaming live on the ESPN app. Long range counted from Treyland for Alabama's Sierra Johnson.
Well, no hesitation there, but when you're hot, you're hot.
Baseline jumper, nothing for Wilson. Follow up, nothing for Wilson. Follow up by Johnson, no, but a foul as Christy Curry trying to coach long range. Watch that last basket.
Well, the dribble penetration, there's no question about Sierra Johnson is hot tonight. We've already made that fact known, but the bottom line is the pass right there, the dribble penetration, playing off of 2 feet, gets in the paint. Megan Abrams, perfect pass to catch and shoot.
Now Alabama's getting a bit of a problem on the post because both Araya Copeland and Ashley Knight have 3 fouls now. And still, lots of hoops to be played tonight. Turning up some full court pressure, but Bama breaks it against the Aggies. And a whistle and an elbow was thrown that time. By whom? Was it Aaliyah Wilson? It was, and that's going to be her 3rd. We'll tell you more when we come back. Hall of Fame. 2008 Stephen F. Austin Lady Jacks Hall of Fame. Twice the Naismith Coach of the Year finalist. 2 times Women's Basketball News Coach of the Year. The 1995 Basketball Times National Coach of the Year. You get the idea. Pat Summitt was at the top of the profession. Gary Blair's right there as well. Lay in nicely for Ashley Knight, showing some soft hands there inside.
Well, credit Adrian Walters, the assistant coach for Alabama, who's in charge of the post players, for coming in his first year at Alabama, has really had an impact on the post play for Alabama.
Washington. Late getting out to defend against him, and Shambria Washington makes Alabama pay.
Remember, I'm going to say it the last time, do not dare her to shoot the basketball from the 3-point line because she will burn you. You alluded to it earlier. If she gets her feet set, she's going to make them.
Going the other way, India Jones. Washington. Alone inside. They lost her on the back door, India Jones.
Well, there's the tandem again. The double team comes, and on Sierra Johnson and India Jones on the opposite block. Beautiful pass. That's how those players feed off of each other.
Long range shot, no good. Washington the rebound. Stop, pop, rolls out. Wilson did it all but bury it. There'll be substitutions. Jasmine Williams will be checking in for the Aggies. Megan Abrams for Alabama at the next whistle. Nice rebound by Daisha Benjamin.
From the angle we're sitting, Eli, that looked like it was dead center.
And that's a turnover against the Crimson Tide. Only their 6th of the evening. So now the substitutions we talked about seconds ago. And Araya Copeland in for Ashley Knight as well. There's a good look at Jasmine Williams. Now, she's the kind of player you love to have. She does all the dirty work.
There's no question about that. And I tell you what, she's done a good job right there.
Fans wanted an offensive foul. There was no call. Now Washington is bumped. And I think they're going to call Jasmine Walker.
Well, that was a tough deal right there because the arm goes out. It's almost automatic. I mean, you got to make that call. It looked like from this angle that maybe the guy missed it, but nevertheless, Alabama's fouls mounting up at this time.
And still a dozen minutes to play. A 3 again. She was shot there. She was set, and she let it fly. And all of a sudden, look up at the scoreboard or down to the bottom third of your screen, and it's a 3-point game. What had been an 11-point lead is all but evaporated. And a chance now for the Aggies to tie it up with a 3. Wells, no good. This half, Texas A&M is 3 of 3 from Treyland. Araya Copeland. Abrams on Jones, and a whistle. And they're going to call the foul on India Jones. Going to be her second.
I was on the other end of the court coaching against Gary Blair, and he and we would have some wars, but I heard him even on my earphones right here.
Yep.
Left.
Yep.
In other words, jump on her left hand, force her to her right. She did, and still Abrams gets to the basket, turns the corner, and draws the foul.
Watch it again. Here's what Rick was talking about.
Yeah, it just forced her to go to her right, and she can. Now, is she stronger going to her left and faster going to her left? No doubt. But you would think if you jumped on the left hand, she wouldn't even attempt to go to her right, but she's better than that.
There's a foul on Araya Copeland, I believe. They're double checking. Yep, it is going to be the fourth now on Araya Copeland. And it's going to have to be Ashley Knight's turn to come back in, as you see the foul trouble for Bama. And Knight comes in, as you'll see, and she already has 3 personals.
No disrespect to Araya Copeland, but tonight it appears to me at this point in the game that Ashley Knight has got the better of it. She's scored offensively and been very, very long and just really changing people's shots inside when she's on defense. Rightfully so, she's 6'5" with a long wingspan.
So Ashley Knight is back in. Araya Copeland sits with 4 personals. Full court pressure now by the Aggies. Broken nicely. Backdoor bounce, Ashley for 2.
Like I said, Ashley Knight, she can get it done for Alabama, especially her conditioning appears to be so much better, Eli.
She averages 4.4 points a ball game, Ashley Knight does.
And
she has doubled it up today.
Just got a hand on that shot. Alabama could go 2 for 1 right here if they could get a shot up.
You see the time remaining, bottom of your screen.
Wow, what a smart play right there. Brittany Davis got the ball in her hands. The shot clock was winding down. She had to go and shoot the ball. I think Jasmine Walker thought that she didn't hit the rim and just threw the ball back up. And then what a play right there, alert play right there by Brittany Davis to save a possession for Alabama. 22 seconds to go on the shot clock. They can get the last one if they so desire.
And they're going to take a look and talk this over, let the coaches know exactly what's the call. They're going to take a look at the pictures, the replay, and make sure the clock is set correctly.
Well, I think what they're looking at, Eli, are checking to make sure that the ball that Brittany Davis kind of threw up right there at the buzzer did hit the rim.
Right.
And it definitely hit the rim from the angle because it changed directions. It can't do that by itself. And then Jasmine Walker, who thought that the ball did not hit the rim, as you see it right here.
Let's see.
Watch the ball change directions.
Oh, yeah. It hit right off the front of the rim.
So that resets the shot clock to 20, and Jasmine just got the ball thinking it was a shot clock
Violation,
situation.
possibly, yeah.
And then Brittany Davis saves the day for Alabama. It's nice when you're Christy Curry. I tell you what, and you and I have been watching, seen Alabama play many times over the years. The depth factor that we've been talking about all night for Alabama. Brittany Davis you know, come off a national championship team and averaged about 15 points a game, came to Alabama and had an unbelievable summer on the travel team, and yeah.
You might have just heard in the background, excuse me, Mark Zentz, the lead official tonight, came over, said we correctly should have had a reestablishment of the shot clock. 3 seconds came off, so they will put 17 on the shot clock. And now Jasmine Williams takes a seat for Texas A&M. Christy Curry getting a clarification there at the bottom of the screen, as you see, from Kevin Pethtel.
Nice execution right there on the baseline out of bounds. Alabama gets the play set up.
You see Bama does have to shoot. Abrams. Jordan Lewis. 3 seconds, 2. It's good if it goes. No. Aaliyah Wilson gave it a try, could not get it to go. And now we go to a very interesting fourth quarter. It's inside Coleman Coliseum. Eli Gold, Rick Moody. We go to the fourth quarter. 56-51 Bama, and half of those points, just about half now, have come by Bama's bench players. The Aggies have not a point off their bench.
That's not that unusual. I remember Gary Blair. I mean, he's going to play the people that he's going to play, and he's going to play about 6 or 7. And Sierra Johnson's going to play most of the game if she can play 40, because they will play through her.
Good defense by Amber Richardson. Shot clock violation. Richardson had the position, did not yield.
Nothing that can happen on the basketball court can frustrate Gary Blair more, as you see him putting his hand up on his face, because he's so intricate. They execute so well, probably better than any half-court team that I ever coached against.
Sure. Good pivot by Ashley Knight. Shot doesn't go, but Ashley Knight played well inside to pivot it outside.
Ashley Knight also. See, there's that backside against the zone. The 6'5" Ashley Knight's pulled away from the basket. That opens up the backside block with a mismatch. Big on small.
And it's a 3-point ball game. And they're going to call it on India Jones. It'll be her third.
It's nice high-low activity right there by Jasmine Walker, catching the ball up at the high post and giving Texas A&M a tiny bit of their own medicine.
So Ashley Knight goes to the line, shooting a pair.
I don't remember that shooting stroke.
No.
I mean, I've not seen her at the free throw line very often, but
you had mentioned earlier Adrian Walters, who came over as an assistant coach. He was at Auburn, hired away. And I think, although I've never been told it directly, but I think he was charged basically with working with the big ladies, with that young lady there, Ashley Knight, and with Araya Copeland.
And with one that's not available to Alabama
Shelby
right
Gibson.
now. Shelby Gibson, who is out for the season. I believe that's correct.
A broken foot for the former Ole Miss Rebel. Ashley Knight had her hands up, stayed there, forced the issue. Rebound, Alabama. And here comes Abrams. And Gary Blair yelling long distance at Mark Zentz. Zentz holds his hand up, the referee, and says, enough, Gary.
Actually, Ashley Knight's got her hand straight up. The principle of verticality right there. I'm not going to tell you the name of that defense, what Gary Blair calls it anyway, but you see his reaction.
Guy's got good moves for a 74-year-old.
Oh, he's got a little hop in his step
He
still.
sure does. Not liking what he's seeing. He told Shambria, Washington, he's heard him yelling, get it inside. But Alabama cashes in on the free throws.
And that is not the first time he said that tonight. And he said it in the dressing room at halftime, I guarantee you. And they do exactly as he says. There's that offside block. Again, getting hammered by Texas A&M.
Floating high off the window for two. Megan Abrams.
Going to her left.
From Lafayette, Louisiana.
Gary Blair says no left, no left. And there's another diagonal to the offside block. Better rotation right there of the zone by Alabama.
And double teaming on that ball. That last bucket that A&M got inside. Watch it again here.
Yeah, we've been talking about it all night long. There's the offside block. The dribble penetration causes the defense to rotate, and the offside forward does not rotate down to the level of the ball.
Another double-double today for India Jones. 14 points, 10 rebounds. That's 7 straight. She is the only player, we mentioned it earlier, only player in the SEC to have a double-double in every single conference game this year.
Like
averaging
I said,
16 points per game, 12.8 in SEC play. She's gone past that already tonight as well.
Well, there's no question that Kennedy Carter not being available to Texas A&M makes a difference. But having said that, the cupboard's not bare for Texas A&M as far as basketball players and athletes is concerned.
It's a different team without Kennedy Carter.
Well, he's got people assume different roles.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Whistle inside.
Gary.
Going to be Daisha Benjamin.
And the reaction by Gary Blair a few minutes ago, I think, because, yeah, good call, Gary. That's all I can say. He's a master at it, though. He's been doing it a long time. He knows just how far he can go. And if you saw the Kentucky and Arkansas game last Saturday, John Calipari knew how far he could go.
Yes, and he overwent.
And he overwent. But look what it did to his basketball team. Saying, okay, coach, you're finally gone. Now we can play.
There's strategy in that sometimes.
There's no question.
You know, we all know that. Sometimes you just get yourself tossed to light your team up, to ignite them.
That is the one thing that Texas A&M has done tonight that's really kept them in this game, and that's get to the free throw line and making the free throws.
Washington again, and a foul. Whether it's a backdoor cut, a backdoor pass, or trying to pass it over the zone, whatever, they're doing a lot of that.
Well, there's the diagonal pass. That's exactly what it is. And you see Araya Copeland's between the ball and the basket, and so she's pulled away from the basket. So the offside block has got to get inside position, and Gary Blair, again, give him credit, believe me, has seen that on the film, and it's by design. It's not by accident.
Yeah. Foul on Benjamin was her third. Rebound. Jones thought about it and goes and draws another foul. And that's time she went right at Araya Copeland, and that is going to be well, they got it on Benjamin. So Araya stays in with 4 fouls. Benjamin leaves with 4.
And believe the reason for that was instead of moving your feet and getting between the ball and the basket, you just get a little bit lazy and reach your hand in there. And there's Jones at the free throw line once again.
And we're tied up. Bama has lots of foul trouble. Daisha Benjamin just committing her 4th. She played very well at Tennessee, Daisha did. Tonight, 5 points and 3 rebounds.
She got most of that in the first 2 minutes of her action tonight, if you recall.
Yep. So we're all tied up after Alabama has seen an 11-point lead go away. Texas A&M led early by 3, and the turnaround doesn't go for Abrams. Rebound, Copeland, no good. Here it comes to Jasmine Williams, who leaves it off for Washington. Williams. Wells returned it to her. We've had quite the ball game. Too strong off the top of the backboard, out of bounds on that try by Jasmine Williams.
Probably not the shot that Coach Gary Blair was looking for, because she's 1 of 7 coming into this game from the three-point line on the year. And
yet
it looked like it on that shot.
Yet she had 11 points off the bench against Florida.
She did. And hit her lone 3 of the year.
Yeah. You just never know.
That's not her long 3, though.
3 for Jasmine Walker.
That's a big, big shot for Alabama right there.
Wells answers.
I have seen Texas A&M play, but boy, they've lighten it up from the three-point line so far tonight. 6 of 13.
Yep, 46%. Bump, no whistle. My goodness, no whistle underneath, and now the arrow keeps the ball going in that same direction.
Well, Christy Curry did a good job. Right there's Jasmine Walker hitting that deep 3. But as the Auburn, normally it's a grind to win one down there. So very, very difficult start for Alabama, and they have done very well in competing. But they need a game like this to legitimize who they are. Every coach that I've spoken with on the phone and in these broadcasts, every single one of them, this is the best Alabama team that Christy Curry's had.
Yep.
But at the same time, you got to prove it with getting some W's. And but as you and I talked about, Eli, how do you play an SEC schedule? How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. And by allowing Jordan Lewis to knock a shot down in a pressure situation, which he's done now for 3 years for Alabama.
66-64. Williams. Down the middle, count it, and a foul. Lots of contact inside. India Jones.
Well, again, that's Sierra Johnson. Yep. And then here's Jordan Lewis shooting the little elbow jumper to get Alabama back up by 2. But then Texas A&M comes right back down in the 2 bookends.
Sierra Johnson drawing that blocking foul. Sends Jones to the line to try and convert the and one, which she does.
And right now, Texas A&M 17 of 24 from the free throw line. Alabama just 7 of 9, only attempting 9 free throws. Now, having said that, Texas A&M is taking the ball inside to their 2 big ones most of this second half.
This is the first time A&M has led since it was 20-18, way back early in the evening. Down to 3 on the shot clock. Got to move it. 2. Count it for Walker. Jasmine Walker with an impact shot.
Well, Jasmine Walker wanted that basketball in that situation. Gary Blair goes straight to the bench, get in the game. The scouting report says the shot clock's running down. You cannot let Jasmine Walker have a look at the basket. But a great pass right there but by Jordan Lewis, and a deep 3 ball for Jasmine Walker. And again, what makes you tick? It's the SEC. You got to step up. She's done it all year for Alabama in the Southeastern Conference.
We don't need commentary. That face tells you what happened.
Well, actually, what happened, that was a tough shot. It's almost like what Christy Curry looked like at the end of the Tennessee game.
Yeah. Rael Wixit was there. She was playing pretty good defense. But there was just the least little bit of an opening, and the shot ran down.
Well, my magic number
is 71. That's what Rick we asked the coach before every game. Give me a number. The first team to get to that number is what he thinks will happen, is who's going to win. He said it'll be 71 is his magic number for tonight.
We will see.
Yes. Williams.
You cannot play her that way right there. You have got to force her back to the middle of the floor. If she goes baseline on you, as big as she is, it's just like a little bunny. And about 75% of the time at least, she's going to score.
And Sierra Johnson came right in on Araya Copeland, who had 4 fouls. There's a block by Johnson. Recovered by Araya Copeland. Abrams with the high floater for 2.
And that's not the first time that young lady has done that. Boy, has she grown up in her sophomore year for Alabama as well. And there's that backside of that zone. That time, Jasmine Walker. And you look over here, Sierra Johnson on the backside trying to get a seal.
And it was tipped out of bounds by Walker off Kayla Wells.
There she is going that baseline right there. And once she gets that position, her footwork is so good. But what about the little floater right there by Megan Abrams? And again, that's not the first time she's done that. She works on that shot. That was not a mistake, by the way.
No, not at all. Aaliyah Wilson is in. Jasmine Williams sits for the Aggies. Ashley Knight is in. She has 3 fouls for Alabama. Walker again. Can you get a shot away? Inside of 2 minutes remaining. 3 on the shot clock. Short for Lewis. And there's going to be a shot clock violation.
Wow. What
or did it hit the underside of the rim?
What a bad break for Alabama right there. I believe the ball hit the rim.
They're going to go take a look at the pictures. Dee Cantner said, I wasn't sure. That gentleman right there, Kevin Patel, he's going to go over along with Mark Zentz and take a look at the pictures.
It appeared to me that the ball hit the rim, and Alabama was in the position to offensive rebound the ball. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you could see the ball glance off the rim. Alabama secures the rebound, and the whistle blows, standing right underneath. And it could be a blessing for Alabama, because with 1:46 to go in the game, they could really use some more time off the clock. Alabama very, very good executing their baseline out of bounds underneath. They practice it every single day.
Watch
and they
this
practice
again.
This situation every single day.
I'm not sure if it did hit any metal. It certainly hit the net. Tough to tell there, but the ball doesn't seem to change direction. It certainly hits mesh. Let's see, maybe we can tell here.
And then the hand of Sierra Johnson.
Did it change its angle and come straight down? And the officials are still looking. You're seeing pictures as well. Of course, the Aggies patting their head. They say it is a shot clock violation. Watch it again. Did it hit metal or just mesh?
I thought it changed rotation.
Did it? I don't know.
Did you see the rotation on the ball? It didn't.
It hit the backboard. I don't think it ever hit the rim. And they've brought Dee Kantner over now to take a look. All three officials. Dee normally the lead crew chief, not tonight.
It does
I don't think it hit the rim, Rick.
It does not. It could be.
I think it hit the
TexasA&M
backboard
ball.
and then it hit the mesh. Yep, it's a shot clock violation.
Well, Alabama absolutely has got to get a stop. This is what you play for, though, Eli. These situations, playing in the Southeastern Conference, these kinds of games, boy, the adrenaline gets flowing, the goosebumps are everywhere. And
My
all of a sudden,
goosebumps up goosebumps.
yeah, it's 1:40 to go.
Alone Washington. Count it. From the perimeter.
Boy, 4 for 4 from the three-point line.
And 50% from the tray land here in the ball game. 7 of 14, 5 of 8 in this half. Wilson played tight defense. That three doesn't go. Rebound Texas A&M. Foul by Johnson. Foul by Sierra Johnson. Watch Shambria. Had tons of time. And I don't care if when you're at this level, you have that much time, it's going to go.
But you got to give credit where credit's due too. Sierra Johnson double teamed on the block, and this time Alabama rotated down and took the offside block away. What a great find on the diagonal pass through a double team to get their hottest three-point shooter tonight, the best long time. Great guy, love him dearly. But he can coach the game.
A high free throw by Washington. Draws rain. It's pouring outside. It's been raining threes inside the building. Both shots miss.
You're 4 for 4 from the three-point line, and you can't hit
a freebie
with nobody guarding you.
Inside a minute. You see the time remaining, bottom of your screen.
You don't have to have a three, Alabama.
And there's an elbow thrown on the inside. It's going to be Shambria Washington, only her first.
Well, if you're Alabama, there's nobody that you would rather have at the free throw line right now. With the exception, Jordan Lewis has been struggling as of late at the free throw line.
This is her first try this evening, and she cashes it in, and we're all tied up at 72. And Alabama takes the lead. And timeout is being called by Alabama. It'll be a full timeout.
And I can assure you that Gary Blair in the huddle instructing his players, play through the post. And Alabama on the other side of the coin, guard the offside block.
Jordan Lewis, 16 points, 4 rebounds.
Well, she started early tonight. She's got this Alabama team kind of got going because of her ability to get the ball in the basket and loosening everybody up, scoring in a variety of different ways. The three-point ball, the dribble penetration, the mid-range jumper. She's a complete player.
That is she behind coaches. There's a good look at Jordan from Windermere, Florida. That's in the Orlando area. She went to Lake Highland Prep. Tonight, She has 7 assists. So she is now moved up into the number 8 spot in all-time Alabama assist numbers with those assists tonight. And as we mentioned earlier, she went over 1,000 points in her career against Tennessee the other day and has added 16 more thus far here this evening.
And Alabama absolutely going man-to-man, which is a surprise to me because they've been in zone the whole night long, defending against dribble penetration.
Wilson's alone for 3. Out of the deep corner. The Aggies are up by 2. With a half-minute to go, there is a half-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock. Abrams, no. Ashley Knight, no on the miss inside. Rebound, Texas A&M. Clock down to 10 seconds, and the reach-in foul by Jasmine Walker, her 3rd.
Well, tough luck right there for Alabama. I thought Abrams made a great move to get the ball to the basket, but look at this drive baseline. Throw opposite, it's almost always there unless it's a great three-point shooter, and it's on your scouting report. Again, executing in the half court. Drive baseline, you either got the offside block, and if Alabama rotates down because of the drive, it's the opposite corner wide open, beautiful shot.
India Jones. No.
Well,
she is now 4 of 8 from the stripe tonight.
Very unusual because she normally is a very good free throw shooter.
Now she's a 73% shooter. 43 of 59 coming in. And now Alabama can tie it with a tray. But first, a timeout. It'll be a 30-second timeout.
Well,
heck of a ball game. A 3 will tie it.
And you can rest assured Gary Blair's going to do everything in his power to keep Jasmine Walker from.
And a foul, and that was unintentional. And Sierra Johnson, number 40, reaches up and tries to help Jordan Lewis up off the hardwood. Sierra Johnson 2nd.
So now you make them both. You get a quick foul. You force LSU. You force Texas A&M to make 2 more free throws.
Yep.
First things first, Jordan Lewis.
She's 2 of 2 today.
She's 2 of 2.
3 of 3. 17 points for Jordan. If you're curious, her career high is 25 against Virginia. Well, she's got a little bit to go yet to match that number. No good. Rebound, Aggies, and a foul. Now, Gary Blair, did he call timeout? The officials are going to talk this over. And yes, Texas A&M calls time. The second that the Aggies had possession, Gary Blair jumped off the bench and called time.
Interesting alignment right here by Gary Blair. Two players on the opposite end of the court.
Bama watching as Aaliyah Wilson will inbound. And the reach-in foul by Daisha Benjamin. That will be her 5th. So that's 5 on Daisha Benjamin. Her night is done. 5 points and 3 rebounds. And that's going to bring Ashley Knight in off the bench. But with 7.6 seconds, if Kayla Wells can convert 2.
And she is the best free throw shooter.
And she's their best free throw shooter, exactly.
That's what I'm saying. Gary Blair knows who to get the basketball to in the situation. That's why he had 2 players on the other end to not clog up the floor so he could get his best free throw shooter the inbounds pass. And
But she misses. She's now 5 of 7. So that means Blair has to reposition bodies here. Second shot for Wells, a 76% shooter on the year. And it's a 3-point A&M lead. And now off the bench, Aaliyah Jackson and Jasmine Williams. But first, a timeout. We'll see Brittany Davis check in for the Crimson Tide.
And Bob Starkey drawing up the defensive plan. He's got 5 guards on the floor, and you and I both know the reason being that Alabama must have a 3. And but having said that, Jasmine Walker, 6'3", and you've got somebody 5'6" on her.
Yep.
She can see the basket, and she can also get the shot off, give Alabama a chance to tie the game up.
There you see the numbers. Bama stays home. They'll play Vanderbilt here on the weekend on Sunday. Texas A&M is home against Mizzou.
And Texas A&M
on Sunday.
I'll almost guarantee you will switch every single screen and not let anybody get the wide open look at the basket.
A 3 for Alabama will tie it.
And they do.
Watch the clock. Long range tray. No. Rebound. Washington. That wasn't the play I was expecting.
I was not expecting that one simply because you had 7 seconds to go and you had plenty of time.
Unless she was trying to draw a foul.
That's possibly.
Shooting, then shoot 3.
She's a very intelligent player, but I still think she had plenty of time to give her one of her teammates to get open or to pull up and shoot a legitimate shot and maybe even draw a foul then.
That could be. Make it a 4-point play. Potentially. Washington. And now it's a 4-point game with 3.3 seconds.
And
that one hurts for Alabama.
Icing on the cake.
Yep. She makes them both. And the Aggies come back on the road. Jordan Lewis launches one, no good. And the final is Texas A&M 79-74.
Well, like you said, Eli,
79-74.
Definitely a heartbreaker right there for Alabama. Played their hearts out, led for most of the game. The first game that maybe the second game that Alabama's been ahead at the half and lost. So usually Alabama can finish in those situations. It wasn't a lack of execution. I thought Alabama played their hearts out. They had a great defensive plan. Texas A&M just really good.
Bama had no success in their last 4 field goals. They were 0 for 4. They did not have a field goal in the final 2 minutes and 36 seconds of the ball game. And these heartbreakers, the loss at Tennessee on a last-second buzzer beater, and this one here